Hello everyone. So this video is going to be a book to movie review and kind of a list of things that I might do in the near future. So here goes. A couple of days ago, I did the book and movie review for The Hunger Games, and now it is time to move on to book 2, which is Catching Fire. Again, it's really hard not to have spoilers and some of the things that I may talk about. But by now, most of the things I'm going to mention, people probably know because the last movie I think is coming out in November. So the books have been out, the series, the movie, everything. So most of this you probably already know. So moving on, book 2, Catching Fire. Movie 2, Catching Fire. So in the last book, there were two children, two teenagers, named Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark. And Katniss and Peeta were basically forced into this arena with 22 other children in a televised fight to the death. Somehow, which I know how, but I'm not going to tell you how because the books are awesome and the movie is pretty good. You're going to have to watch that. More so, I want you to read it. But anyways, they both end up getting out of the arena. Anyways, where was I? Oh yes, read the book and everything to find out how they get out. Moving on. So, because they are both victors, they have to go on what is called the Victory Tour. And that is kind of where shit hits the fan. Because they learn through their tour and everything that a new rebellion is starting. And President Snow, who is basically, I guess you would call him the dictator of Panem, he does not believe the story that Peeta and Katniss gave to both make it out alive from the arena. And he doesn't like the fact that the rebellion is starting up again, of course, because that would mean a loss of power to him. So, the games have gone on now for 75 years, or in this book, it is the 75th year. And there's a thing called the Quarter Quell, which states that every 25 years of the game, they change it up a bit. Their mentor, Haymitch, was in the second Quarter Quell, which would be the 50th year or the 50th Hunger Games. And in his, they were doubled. Instead of 24, it was 48. 4 children, basically, instead of 2 from each district. And so, now that it's the 75th year, the third Quarter Quell is coming up. And to get back at Katniss for the things that she pulled and making them look bad, the president decides that instead of children from 12 to 18, this year for the Quarter Quell, they will reap former victors. Now, Katniss is the only female victor, at least alive, from what I remember, from District 12, which means that she is going back into the arena again. And so, basically, it's the Hunger Games, but now we get to see some of the former victors, which are tributes again. Now, I mentioned in my last video that I I was really disappointed after reading the book that some of even small details that the movie left out, because I thought if you didn't read it and you were watching it, it would explain things a little bit better. Actually, after I did that video, I had this thought in my head, okay? There should have been at least little, um, sorry, my friend decided to call. So, anyways, now that I'm back, there should have been at least little, like, clips and flashbacks for things, or a good thing, especially if you wanted to start the movie off the same way the book did, because I really liked how the book started out and her narration and everything, because about Prim and the games and everything, and it kind of built up the mystery for you wanting to know what the games were and what she was talking about, or no, she talked about the reaping first. I think a little bit of narration would have been good, like kind of voiceover thing, you know. I thought that might have added kind of to the plot of the movie a little bit, since the book is told from the point of view of Katniss. I was thinking that might have been a good thing to kind of put in there. Like, not narrate the whole damn movie, but like little scenes here and there, like little thoughts. So, anyways, as I was saying, I talked about how the last movie cut out things that I thought might have been important. Well, again, of course, it's the same cast and everything, and it's still fairly close to the book. They really don't get away from it too much, but unlike the Hunger Games, Catching Fire really disappointed me in the stuff they left out, because that really, really added to some things. The rebellion thing. There is a scene in the book, a part in the book, where Katniss, I believe, meets up with two women. I believe they were from District 8, maybe. And they end up stealing some peacekeeper outfits, and, um, you know, somehow they make it to District 12. I don't remember exactly how. But they tell her about the rebellion that's starting, and they have this bread with the Mockingjay and everything on it, and telling her they want to make it to District 13. Now, if you remember from the first movie, from the first book, or whatever, District 13 was supposed to have been destroyed. Actually, you know what? Looking back, I don't think they touched on that too much in the actual movie. Okay, here's the thing about both movies, and I hate to backtrack. It really seemed that they rushed it to the games. More or so, it seemed that way in Catching Fire. There was a lot of things going on that was just cut short or not in there at all, and I think that really, really was disappointing this time, because I liked all the people who were playing the tributes and everything, but I don't know why. I mean, some things were mentioned, but to me, because this time I read the book first, I really wanted to see those things, like the two women from District 8, or wherever they were from. I'm pretty sure it was 8, but I could be wrong. But nonetheless, they were from one of the districts. They told her about, rebellion starting here and there, or at least in their district, and wanting to go to 13. Oh, big plot thing there. What else? I did like that they kept the party scene with the food, because that really added to, you know, kind of getting to know people, or getting to know things about the place they live in. Sorry, I'm searching for words here. Um, Anyways, on their victory tour, I believe it's after they wanted to get engaged to basically save themselves. They went to this party, and at this party they're given this drink because they tell the people they're full, so they're given this drink, and what it does is make you throw up so you can go and eat more. And of course, both Katniss and Peeta are like kind of pissed about this because people back in their districts or any of the districts are working their asses off and starving, as I mentioned in the first video, and here these rich people are throwing up so they can eat more food. So, Catching Fire gave you a little bit more of an insight to what the districts do, like, because I think they have more of a mention of what each district does because former victors are being reaped again. So, you know, you get to know a little bit more of the other characters and their districts and such and their personality. You, of course, like from that scene, you get to know about the capital and what they're like. Of course, not all capital people are like that because you have people like Cinna, who, when he goes to make Katniss's wedding dress, he actually turns it into a Mockingjay dress, which is the symbol of the rebellion. So there's a whole bunch of things really going on, and of course they kept the Cinna scene with the dress and the fire and everything, which is awesome. They kept the food and the liquid make you vomit crap, which I think was important to keep in there too because it shows, the difference between the capital and the districts. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling here. One major disappointing thing that I really wanted to see was scenes that when they describe how certain tributes, victors won. Joanna Mason, I would have loved to seen hers. Haymitch's games. See, in order to prepare them, I believe it's Effie that gives them videos of former games because you're allowed to watch them. They are like for the public. And so we get to see their mentor, Haymitch's games, because he's a very interesting character himself throughout the entire series. He has his reasons really to be drunk all the time. I mean, he won a game killing children, basically. But, he does care about the two kids, and surprisingly, so does Effie. She kind of grows attached to them. And while the movie touched up on some of those kind of things, I really think that they rushed it too fast to the games. You really didn't get the sense of the characters. You did and you didn't, but it was very brief. The movie on its own is a good movie, but just those things. Now, the scene in the arena itself is great. I mean, it was great in the last movie, the cornucopia bloodbath. Always like mild action crap going on in there. And I really think with the mutations and the other stuff, they really did fantastic in that movie this time. Like, really good. And that is the thing that I think saved the movie, especially with the Jabberjays. And oh my god, that has to be so terrifying. And those monkeys, oh my god. But yeah, I'm kind of like losing my train of thought because all this, it should be this, it should be that. It's like flowing in here. But both the book and the movie were good. The movie, as just a movie, is good. It doesn't like go away from the plot too much. I know they have to add scenes to make it, you know, make sense as a movie, but the fact that they took that other stuff out but added stuff that wasn't in there, kind of disappointing. But still, good cast, good acting, good emotion. You know, I think they brought the characters to life. It's just that I felt it was kind of rushed. There are kind of disappointing things in the book between, well, it's kind of between Catching Fire and continuing on to Mockingjay. I really, really wanted to just know the characters a little bit more. And again, you know, in the book, it's a little bit more detailed, but the characters really are interesting. And I wish the author, Suzanne Collins, would have just touched a little bit more up on, you know, the history of people and things. Like Mags. How did Mags win? Mags um, volunteered for Annie. Annie went mad um, when she was in the arena after watching her fellow tribute get killed. Annie, of course, because she was reaped, she was a victor, she ended up winning, but still she was a little mental. So an older woman from District 4 named Mags, who was in her 80s, I believe, volunteered for her. And, you know, the book didn't tell us, the movie didn't tell us. How did Mags win? I mean, she's 80 something, from what I remember. So she's actually older than the games. So she's one of the first victors, really. I mean, maybe not exactly the first. She could be between the top 10 or the top 20, but still. How did she win? I want to know. I just really, really want to know things because this world is interesting and we only get so much and that's gone. So that is my, why do I have this pen? Oh yeah, I was writing a letter. That is my book and movie review for Catching Fire. Now, some of the things that I'm thinking of doing is when I get people and when I can get all the stuff to do this, I want to maybe make little mini videos, like little skits or like little movies. I have ideas up in my head and I really think that would be a fun thing to do. Another thing is that I'm doing book reviews, I'm doing music reviews, I've done a couple of TV show reviews or season reviews, so I'm probably going to start adding a few movie reviews. I don't watch a ton of movies, but I do like, you know, movies and everything, and I have my favorites. So prepare to hear about a lot of comedy or other stuff like that. So you're going to hear about Mean Girls and Juno, and I will do a review on Frozen because I just can't not do one because that movie is so cute. So, anyways, thank you for sitting through this. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.